for training to the workers so that they can perform better. Next point I've written, safeguard the security of tenure and improve their conditions of service. Obviously, condition of service is very much important. Now, as we all know that we are going through the COVID situation, now, don't you think that when we will rejoin the organizations again, we'll go back to our workplace, the management will take proper care, isn't it? The management will take proper care that the safety rules should be followed, people should use masks, and there should not be the proper social distancing should be maintained. So these are the responsibilities of the top management. And until unless these responsibilities are taken care properly, the workers or the employees, they will not be happy working in that company. Okay, ultimately, if you have to take care of your basics, then if your workplace is not clean, right? If the toilets you're using is not clean, then every time you will not go to the management and you will complain. So these things are actually being taken care by the trade unions, the representatives. If the workers feel uncomfortable, then these trade union they can represent these issues. Now provide even like the third point which I've already discussed, improving the working and living conditions of the worker. Provide them educational, cultural, and recreational facilities. Now, in most of the government organizations, also, you know that a lot of recreational facilities are provided to the employees. The educational scholarships of the children's to the children's also provided. So these things are actually going to boost the morale of the employee who are working, right? So they will feel that apart from the salaries, they are also getting other benefits. They are getting other security for which maybe that they have to bother a lot. And the organization, if now the organization is taking care, they will be happy. They will be happy being associated with that company. Next point which I've written is facilitate technological advancement by broadening the understanding of the workers. Now we all know that nowadays there is a culture like due to globalization and all that, people from different countries are working together. Okay, so there is a concept of cross-cultural communication, cross-cultural organizational setup, and nowadays it is there. So it is very much understand that it is very much obvious that people should understand the cultural pattern of other people. If you hurt the sentiment of other people, obviously there will be a lot of chaos in the organization. So it is the duty of the HR person to look to take care whether the people are properly educated, the proper cultural knowledge is there among themselves. Okay, so that they can work with each other in a more comfortable manner, they can communicate with each other. Next is helping them in providing level of production, productivity, discipline, and high standards of living. Right. So we all know there is a need of maintaining the work balance, what we call that work-life balance, right? Personal and professional development should go hand in hand. So if you look from the management point of view, it is always very much important for them that the should be high. The productivity of the worker should be high because they are being paid by the organization. So obviously, management will look into the return which they are going to get from these workers or the management. But then it is equally important that a proper care should be taken that that their health, hygiene factor, all these things, and high standard of living should be maintained. Okay, so it is the job of the management itself. So if the management is not sometime knowingly or unknowingly, if not being able to give importance to these aspects, the trade union will come forward with these issues. Mm, See, one point is also there. Now we know that a lot of global advancement, globally, a lot of technological advancement is going on, right? So every time the and the workers or the employees, many time you will see that they are reluctant or they will not be comfortable using the latest technologies, because they have a way of doing the things, and they have been attached to the organization for a long period of time. So they will love to work in the way they are doing. But then, if due to technological advancement, employee work style needs to be changed, in that case, a proper training has to be imparted, right? Like before, uh, like nowadays we are taking online classes. So before that, we haven't taken this type of class in this kind of setup. But then the management has properly given us training as how to go about this. Different kind of different kinds of tools which are used nowadays. Like today only, I have done an online course in a free job, free Zoom. Okay, so free Zoom is a platform where you can virtually develop the course content, and you can download for the students. So by going through that training program, I came to know that now there are different tools, different different platforms which are available, where the faculties can upload the assignments, projects. A very good example they have given. I have seen that how the photography can be taught through the virtual online learning. They have given all the different steps which are to be followed by the students, like आप कैमरा कितना जूम करेंगे, क्या करेंगे, वो सारी चीजें थी. और वो ऑनलाइन फैकल्टी कैसे बता रहे हैं कि आपको कैमरा में फोटो किस रेजोल्यूशन कितना पिक्सल से लेना है, क्या करना है. तो बहुत ही एक्सप्रेसिव, बहुत ही बहुत ही नया चीज मैं देखी उस कोर्स को करके. So I came to know that this technological advancement uh, should be imparted to the employees. Okay, if the employees will not be knowing all these things, then what will happen that maybe their contribution will go down, their interest for the work will go down, and they will feel sometimes they are now not that connected. Yesterday only, I got a call from my colleague friend, and she was saying that I'm not being able to engage in a lot of activities. I feel as if I'm stuck from the job. I told her that no, you are not properly engaging your time. So that's the reason you are thinking in that way. So it is important that with the technological advancement, you have to engage yourself, you have to upgrade your skill, right? You have to take the latest of informations from the market so that you can apply those things, you can make your life more easier and more comfortable. So in that way, in every field, if you're an engineer, if you're a doctor, if you're working as a uh, uh, aviation industry or any other industry, technological knowledge is very much important. You can't say today that you are gray in technology, right? So this thing has to be imparted to the workers. So that will incur cost or not? From the management side, definitely yes. Okay, management will have to incur a lot of cost imparting those training. And if small crash courses will not be enough, then obviously you may have to outsource those things. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, if you want your workers, if you want your employees to perform, then from the management side, you have to expend certain kind of, you have to think of a budget for them, right? So finally, let's come to the topic. Uh, so trade union actually help the workers to for a proper representation. It promotes the individual and the collective welfare, and thus correlate the workers' interest with that of their industry. So it is not, it can't be a one way, right? If industry will always think about their benefit, their success, you have to also think about from workers' point of view. Uh, Sometimes it happens that due to some natural disasters, or like nowadays we are facing the pandemic situation, we are very much aware that how much problem are being faced by the unorganized workers nowadays due to their shift from one place to another. So in that way, the role of the trade union actually come into importance. Okay, where the trade union can play a very important and active role in order to make the management understand what the employees need, what they actually want, right? So my last point, which I've written the slide, is to take participation in management for decision making in connection to work and to take disciplinary action against the workers who commit the indisciplinary actions. Obviously, in every organization, there are standard rules which are there. Okay, when you join the organization, you will make aware of all these things, and it's the duty and responsibility of every worker as a part of that organization. You have to follow that, but sometimes it may happen that the workers are going through different kinds of harassment. We all know about different like sexual harassment and all that women which, who face in the organization. So maybe that she will not be comfortable talking to her colleague friend or straight away going to the management. But then she can talk to the trade union, right? Not only any kind of harassment, it may be the problem of your attendance, it may be the problem of your leave, maybe the problem of any kind of holiday that you want, or any kind of benefits that you should get and you're not getting. So in that case, you may approach the trade unions and they will help you, right? See, if you will, these things are not written in slide, but I want to discuss a little. If you want to know the basic provisions of trade union, so if you'll go by the Act of 1926, the Act provides for the registration of the trade union, right? And where this registration will be done? This registration will be done with the registrars of trade union, which are set up in different states. Okay, and like office of registrar are there, which are set up by the government of that country. So for registration of a trade union, seven or more members of the union can submit their application. They can so application will have a different format. If you want to know about the format, it actually include the copy of the rules of trade unions, right? If you are becoming a part of the trade union, then what would be the different rules that you have to follow? The name of the person will be there, the occupation, address of the member who is applying, right? The name of the trade union will be there, and the address and all that. So the title, age will be there, occupation. So these things will be like these are the formats which you have to fill while getting the trade union registered. The registrar, on being satisfied with their union application, if you will find that all the requirements as per the act is fulfilled, then you may proceed. And afterwards, they will issue a certificate of registration in the prescribed format. So uh, these are the different central trade union organizations. You can read these names from the slide, right? AITUC, BMS. These are the different trade unions. There has been there were different kinds of research also done. You know, there are different studies done by the researchers to understand the role of trade union and what role they are playing. What is the impact of trade union on maintaining the industrial peace or industrial relation? Or trade union has always been a very important topic of discussion. Now, if we'll go by the features of trade union, I don't know I've written that in slide or not. It's not there. Okay, I'll discuss. If we'll go by the features of trade union, see, Trade Union Act 1926, 1926 has been amended, right? And from time to time, this act has undergone different changes. The Trade Union Act 2001 is there. And if you see, there are certain silent features of the Trade Union Amendment Act 2001. Like no trade unions of the workmen shall be registered unless at least 10% or 100, whichever is less, subject to minimum of seven workmen engaged. Okay, so there were different rules and regulations like filing an appeal before the industrial tribunal or labor court in case of non-registration of the trade union is important. Minimum subscription rate number is there, and the employees who have registered, what will be their role, what will be the role of different promotion for civic and political interest of the members are written. So different scope and coverage will be maintained. Now, if we'll uh, go by the authorities under the trade union, the authorities of trade union are like the first one which I've written, All India Trade Union Congress. See, the National Federation was established in 1921, and if ideologically you will think that it is connected with the communist philosophy, right? And therefore, you will find that the main objective of AITUC are basically, if I have to mention the points, there were three things. First thing was to like establish a state in India where the means of production, distribution, and exchange will be possible. Right. So the objectives of AITUC is that there should be proper nationalization of the means of production, distribution, and exchange. Basically, the trade union AITUC was to improve the economic and the social conditions of the workers, working class, right? So if I talk about the social economic conditions of the working class, I mean to say that improving their working condition, betterment of the terms of employment, right? And the conditions of employment also. To like we have seen in different case study, if we have gone through different cases, we will come to know that how the workers are facing health hazard issues in the cement industry. Okay, they are facing different health hazard issues. They are facing, they are suffering from cancer because cement industry is such an industry which actually which has a very bad impact on the health of the workers. So it is very much important that proper steps should be taken, that the workers should be provided with the proper, I mean to say, the working conditions should be good, right? To safeguard the rights of free speech. See, if you're not able to speak what you feel like to say, so one or the other day it will come out, right? So ultimately, it is going to affect the psychology of the workers. It is going to affect your mental peace. So freedom of expression is very much important. And if it is not there, ultimately the workers will undergo the strike. They will not come to the office. They will not feel like to work. So the objective adopted by AITUC are to provide a very peaceful working environment, to work in a very democratic manner, where the mass meeting should be there, right? Where the negotiation has to be there. The people should come forward with their problems. Now, second, now if you'll go by like in seventh or eighth bullet point I've written, INTUC. So this INTUC was active, was very active association, trade union association, and the objective of INTUC was to establish a society where the what should I say, where the people should get full employment, right? See, I'm an economics faculty. I know full employment situation is not possible, but still, whosoever is needed and whosoever is competent should get the job. So INTUC is the organization association was not only taking care of the workers' present need. If there is a need in their family related, and if the organization can fulfill that, this INTUC used to take care for that. So to secure greater participation of the worker was also one of the objectives. And uh, s- uh, see, earlier you can see there were different categories of workers, right? And all the categories of worker, they will not have the same demand. They will not have the same need for social security. They will not have the same need for the conditions of work. So this INTUC used to take care, and they try to deeply understand the workers' need, and they understand the sense of responsibility which they have to maintain, not only for the workers but also towards the industry, right? So being a trade union, you cannot only think of eradicating the problem or eradicating or providing power to the workers. Ultimately you have to also think as a sensible person from the organization side. Also you have to also think about from the organization side. See, Hind Mazdoor Sabha, if I'll say, their objectives was very much clear and well defined, because if I'll remember, they came into existence in 1948. So during 19, at that time, there was a linkage what should I, socialistic parties were there. And so the main aim of HMS is to promote social, political, and economic interest. If I'll not discuss with you the purpose of each and every trade union, you will not be able to understand how they were working different from each other, and what steps they have taken, and how they have played a role for their workers. Okay, so I'm discussing one by one. I'll not be discussing all. So coming back to HMS, so HMS objective is to promote the economic and political and social interest of the workers. Okay. Economic interest, you all understand. Political interest, I mean to say that there should not be a lot of intervention from the political parties. You know what happened, that the political parties, they misuse this union sometime, they brainstorm them, and the peace of the workers get distorted, and their work of line will totally get disrupted. So in that way, this HMS purpose was to form actually the cooperative societies, and to foster workers' education. So if the workers are educated, obviously the demands which you raise from the worker side, it will also be genuine, isn't it? So the method which was applied by HMS was very legal, was very, they perform in a very peaceful manner and a very democratic manner. Now, uh, last, if I'll take up, I would like to discuss about Center of Indian Trade Union. So this is the national federation which was established in 1971. It was actually focused, or you can say it is animated by the goal of organizing worker for the interest, for the economic interest, basically the economic interest. Their objective was to provide, was to remove the struggle which was there among the workers. Now, if I'll go by the appropriate government section 2, in just the trade, in relation to trade union, in relation to trade union whose object are not confined to one state, the appropriate government is the central government. Now here I mean to say that, uh, see, sometime whatever the trade union represents in relation to other trade union, the appropriate government is the state government. It means that sometime whatever trade union represents, it has to abide the rules and regulations of the government, rules and regulations of the state where the industry setup is there, right? Executive Section 2A means that the body of which the management of affairs of trade unions are instructed. See, there are different sections, like the Trade Dispute Section 2G. What this trade dispute section implies? The trade dispute section means that if there is any dispute, okay, between the employers and the workmen, or you can say the workmen and the workmen, or the employers and the employers, which is connected with any kind of employment activities or conditions of labor of a person, then the trade dispute section 2G will take care of that. Okay, it should sort out all the employment related issues or employment related disputes which are arising. Provided that the act, see, if I'll go by trade union section 2GH,